What a game. What an
Was
ending.
it, though?
It was a great game. It was a great game. And it could have
It was a bullshit call.
It was a bullshit call. And, like, it's not a bullshit call. Okay, let me explain why it's not a bullshit call. Okay?
Temper tantrum.
Kyle, you know, when you had that one teacher in high school that all they wanted to do was fuck you over.
Yep.
They wanted to get on the you wanted to put you in the parent-teacher conference, get you dead to rights, get you suspended. I led the league in yellow cards when I was a middle schooler. I had 63 in 1 year, tied with William Taylor. Okay? I used to like all types of shit. When the teacher would leave, I'd line the desks up, run across the desks, jump into the reading corner, like shit like that. I was a bad kid. But like when you have that substitute teacher who doesn't understand you, okay, when you got Carl Cheffers in the classroom, when you got the guy that you called a Foot Locker employee that called roughing the passer on Chris Jones last year, you make sure you line the fuck up. You make sure you check with the official, and I totally get it. I think it's the Carl Cheffers thing that made Patrick and Andy so mad because just a week ago, Patrick, and how long can you say this stuff with the way the wide receiver room has let you down? They're anti-American. They don't like Patrick Mahomes. But you know who's even more anti-American? Carl Cheffers, because he's the guy that has been the thorn in their side, and I think that's why they were so pissed off at the end of that game because it was fucking Carl Cheffers. McGruber, it's cunt.
Again.
Okay?
Cunt.
So in that situation, and I read the transcript after the game, and Carl Cheffers made some sense here.
Standing on business.
And you could say Von Miller was offsides a couple plays, you know, before that or whenever it was.
Mitch Schwartz had a really dynamite breakdown about Von Miller not being offside on the play in question.
If Mitch said it, it couldn't be wrong.
I truly believe I could believe anything Mitch Schwartz says.
That's the problem.
Well,
that's where misinformation starts. But I think Mitch is really smart. I think Mitch and Jeff are really smart.
It's an unfair allegation, but the breakdown in question about Von being offsides did paint a good picture for those at home that maybe see things on the TV and say, he's offsides.
Well, he's not directly on the sideline. The angle's more
the blue
square,
line versus
blue
where
line.
Creed Humphrey has the football, things that matter.
I get it. I'm willing to bet, though, that some officials might have called that. Now, having said that,
you're right.
On the very same plays, you got both your tackles out the gate early, which they've consistently been. So, I mean, listen, at some point you have to play yourself out of situations where you're depending on the refs to call PI when MVS gets tackled, to not call Tony in this situation. And what Carl Cheffers said, if he looked for a lineman advice, I would have given it to him. No warning is required if you're lined up so far over the ball that I can't see it. Okay, and that's the rare moment where the ref breaks character and he's like, dude, just line the fuck up.
Yep.
Okay, we're not talking about this. And Tony has cost them 2 games now. Sky Moore, this whole group, the drops, it has been a thing.
If it wasn't Tony, I would say it's on the line judge to say, hey, man, back up.
And he also doesn't know where that call is going to land. It's not like he knows that the greatest play maybe ever at Arrowhead is going to transpire.
We were robbed of that play on the day that
I'm not trying to throw anyone else under the bus, but Travis Kelce and whoever's on the other side of them, can't they see that, like, he's up too far when you're lining up in that bunch? Like, I think you can kind of notice, like, yo, bro, back up a little bit.
But that's not. It shouldn't be anybody's job. You know what I mean? You have so many things to worry about. No, it's not the quarterback's job.
The quarterback can't see that shit right there.
Assignment.
Quarterback cannot see the depth of the
quarterback
receiver.
goes like this. Quarterbacks do that. How many times do we see quarterbacks line up and they tell guys go like this?
That's going motion. That's not line up correctly.
The refs are the ones.
Sometimes he may see. So you're supposed to have one guy on the ball, one guy off the ball.
You want Patrick to wipe his ass too?
So you get a guy in motion and he gets to his final destination, but he's supposed to be off the ball. A quarterback can see that if he's in the slot or if he's wide. Hey, get off the ball, get on the ball. Other receivers help. But if he's in line, like where Kadarius Toney was, outside in the tackle
he can't
box,
even see that.
He can't see the depth.
He can't see the depth.
He can put him there laterally. So you can't see the depth there.
It's this wide receiver room. I can't remember.
The tackles are so far off the ball, they don't know where the line of scrimmage is anymore. How can they help?
I can't remember a room.
No, I didn't say the tackle. I said a tight end.
No, but I'm telling you in addition.
I mean, but we're grasping for straws, trying to blame anybody but Tony.
I'm trying to explain to him.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Okay, we.
But the point is, it's the royal we. we as fans too, like if somebody wants to say, hey, like, you know, he's offsides, dude. You know, you just need to line up on sides. And I can't remember a room on a team with championship aspirations in the recent future, history of the NFL, that's been more of an impediment to them getting where they want to go. Like this team is the same team as last year in a lot of ways. They're down a safety. They've had trouble at linebacker. But in my opinion, that defense, you saw them in the second half of that game. They're fucking nails in those situations. They figured out, you know, Bills come out in 12 personnel. They're getting 7 yards a pop because Kincaid and both those guys are back. In the second half, they come out. It's 2-2. It's 2-2 a play, 3 punts, 12 plays for the Bills, and you felt it. I turned to Nolan, and I'm like, this is the Chiefs. When Arrowhead gets tight and you can feel like they're the team that's not going to make the mistake. Josh throws a pick. I've seen it. And that defense being who they are, that's what makes me believe that they can still do this. But this wide receiver room will kill you down the stretch. And they've played them into the pack where they don't have home field advantage as an automatic, which is a travesty because they can beat anybody at home, they can beat anybody on the road, but now this team can lose to anybody too. And that's the
home or away.
And that's when you're scoring 21 points a game because you miss opportunities, that is leaving money on the table. And so why is Sky Moore on the field? Why is Tony on the field with the game on the line?